So that's that.
Whoa. Epic Ma out in the open. Matt, how are you
Sorry,
feeling?
I'm a little overwhelmed. Just at that epic reveal. Over the past little while, the monster handlers have been embarking on increasingly dangerous expeditions.
Yeah, that one got pretty hairy.
To the monster world, yeah. I mean, like, it's a little unsavory the way that one ended up. Fending off a feral epic maw was.
But there was no casualties.
No casualties, and the injuries.
He looked like he just wanted to play.
Yeah. The injuries that I sustained were mostly emotional, but I think that the important thing to take away from this experience is that for the safety of the monster handlers, and just to make sure that we can continue to bring you reporting and research on these new monsters, that I think that this epic reveal will be the last of its kind, in the sense that when
going in with a handheld camera
is just proving a bit risky. From an insurance and liability standpoint, Big Blue Bubble, that's a lot to ask of them. Interdimensional travel. There's not a lot of outfits that actually offer that sort of insurance. So when we do discover more epics, I think that they'll be coming out of the woodwork, but we won't necessarily be sending teams of monster handlers into the world itself. So
they might not come out as frequently.
Well,
they'll be there.
Right. They might still. We're not really sure yet. I mean, like, these epics, as we've previously seen, sort of reveal themselves to us.
Exactly.
Right. So while it certainly seems like we can expect a new epic, every month or so, we're just not sure how they're going to appear. But we do know that the decision has been made executively to no longer send teams into the monster world. It's just proving a little hairy or feathery or furry, as the case may be. But Epic Ma. Very cool.
Yes.
It would be even cooler.
Tell us your comments and feedback in the stream, because we'd love to hear what you think of Epic Ma. But it's pretty cool.
I'd love to hear who's getting an Epic Ma.
Yes. So as we said before we showed you that wonderful clip, there will be one person with the world exclusive to have Epic Ma.
Very first.
Yes.
And that person, I believe, I just want to confirm because I don't want to say the wrong name.
Yes, let's see.
It is JMLOL 20. So JMLOL 20.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a big day for JMLOL 20.
Yeah, that's going to be like definitively the first Epic Ma that any user in My Sing Monsters will ever own. And fun fact, it was the one that attacked me. So it has sort of a special relationship with it.
You want to see the thing again? We can, you know what?
Your wish is our command.
Oh man,
Can we get it on the first try this time?
I might turn
Let's
away
see.
so I don't have
2, 1.
stress.
Hey.
Wow, I'm sort of like reliving the experience there, seeing it a few more times.
You're in a safe space now. We're lucky there isn't just a mod directly
Just
behind
a
you
mod
on
right
the
here.
wall.
I just want to make sure
Really throw you off.
all of these friendly monsters who haven't bitten me. All right.
Yeah.
All good.
Now, while you're here anyway, how do you
sure.
feel about answering some questions?
I would love to. Love to.
I believe Sydney has some questions.
Yeah, I even got changed into
a
another monster
new hoodie.
handler
Well, then
exclusive.
let me
hoodie.
ask the question. Can I get that hoodie?
Not this one either, I don't think. But the selection that we have on our merch store, on our My Singing Monsters gear, is extensive.
Yes.
So
I
please
believe
make
every
sure
shirt design we have in hoodie, sweatshirt, long sleeve, and t-shirt.
the possibilities are endless. So make sure to check those out if you want to get your monster swag on, and make sure that you can prove to the world that you are in fact a monster handler
Gear for
apprentice,
all weather
an enthusiast.
conditions.
Exactly.
You gotta be ready when you're out there.
You got it. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what
You
monsters?
never know when Epic Ma is gonna surprise you.
Let's say that's
All right,
that
Sydney.
question.
Okay,
on
so
me.
first question: how many monsters are there? You
That-
can break it down.
Yes. Oh, jeez. I had a cheat sheet, but let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. So, as of the time of this broadcast, with Epic Maw having just been revealed, the total number of monsters is 185. 186 if you count Glowbes, which, as you know, were recently granted honorary singing monster status, despite the fact that they themselves don't make any sound. The monsters were like, whatever. You know, the more the merrier. You got it. So,
They're inclusive.
exactly. That's sort of in the very spirit and nature of singing
course.
monsters, right? So let me see if I can try and break down this 185 figure correctly. So, we have 31 natural monsters. That includes Kana, the fire elemental. We then have 5 common seasonals, 15 common ethereals, 20 supernatural monsters. That includes common Wubbox and all of the Wublins on Wublin Island. We have 11 legendary monsters, 8 members of the Sugar Fam. This is included inside legendary 8 monsters of the Sugar Fam, and 3 Wordos that have been discovered to date. We've got 7 Dipsters, and between My Singing Monsters and the Era of Dawn of Fire, 12 Celestials. We have, so that's everybody in the common sphere, I think.
Does that
and then
include Kajub and Yas?
no, I'm not including those 2 for those keeping tally at home.
And I'd like to invite the viewers, if you get any of these numbers wrong, please correct him.
Sure.
Never let him hear the end of it.
Oh, absolutely. And, I just ran some quick calculations myself to make sure that this information was in fact accurate. But, okay, I think that's all the commons. Then we have 30 rare naturals, 15 rare ethereals, 1 rare Wubbox, and 10 epics that we've discovered to date. Epic Maw is the 10th. And then, scaling back all the way to monster history during the Era of Dawn of Fire, there are a further 23 fire hybrids that we've discovered to date, which, if I'm not mistaken, brings us to our grand total of 185 monsters.
Carry the 1. That does make sense.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
right.
advanced math.
Yes. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
You just always are carrying 1.
As part of your monster handling degree, trigonometry, advanced functions, calculus are all included. How else are you going to sort of bend dimensional portals in order to be able to get to the monster world?
What are
Not
some
well.
other... yeah, you just sparked a question for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I throw you off.
No, not at all.
What are some other courses that are part of
Monster handler training?
Of a monster handler
certification?
So the interesting thing, of course, is that we know now that Dr. Warden E. Spurritt sort of originated the field of study of monster handling. Before him, there was like fleeting contact with the monster world, but it wasn't really like clear or concrete enough in order to have any sort of interest in it. But he sort of paved the way for all sorts of sort of multidisciplinary studies that you have to do as a monster handler. One of those, of course, is monster sonography, the study of like learning their calls and how to imitate them. Very important if you want to get around the monster world, because of course singing monsters each make a different sound, but inside of their universe, these are all interintelligible. They can all understand each other.
That's what I was just going to say. Like
when they're singing.
When a mammoth goes bum,
and if Furcorn goes la, that's
they-
understood.
okay.
Right, they understand each other. And so part of the monstro-linguistics that you have to study as part of that monster sonography is a huge part of it. Another part, of course, is monster biology, understanding the life cycle of monsters, exactly the science and fair bit of magic that goes into how a breeding structure works, how the time machine works. There's all sorts of stuff going on there. So it is a lot of work, but it, of course, is obviously a very rewarding job, and it pays off every day when we get to discover new things like the Epic Maw, which we just did. So there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So someone noticed something when you were talking about how many monsters there are.
Mhm.
Is it pronounced Globe or Glowbie?
That's a very good question.
I'd say even within here there is some.
Yeah.
There's some debate, and when the globes, so I have always called them globes,
I call them
a
clothes.
portmanteau, of course, of glow and the globular shape that they are. I think it's okay as a secondary alternate pronunciation to call them globies, but the official monster handler pronunciation is globes.
Are there any other names that people sometimes, there might be a debate on how things are pronounced?
Certainly, there are several examples that come to mind, and the interesting thing as well to see on the My Singing Monsters wiki page is in the notes. Often members of the community have added their guesses as to what monster names are inspired by when we go to name monster species. One that's obviously relevant this weekend as Spooktical wraps up is the Punkleton.
Punkleton.
Oh yeah, yes. So many people in the past have believed that it's Punkleton, which would make sense from a skeleton standpoint. You've got
Sure.
Smunkins and the skeleton sort of coming together. The official pronunciation is Punkleton, which almost sounds as if it's like a person's last name.
Mr. Punkleton.
Mr. Punkleton,
Mr. Punkleton.
right? So our
Which you are repping, right?
our official pronunciation is Punkleton. Another one that I can think of as well is, of course, everyone's favorite plasmic ethereal Ghast. The Ghast. That is almost as if you're saying just Ghast, G-A-S-T or G-H-A-S-T.
Like, I am
but
a
you've
ghast.
got exactly, but you've got a little bit more of a zzz in there to make sure that you get the Ghast thing.
There's some more
Oh, all right.
that people are asking pronunciation for.
We're listening.
The quad element who.
Ah,
The icy
Ah.
element. Is it Deej or DG?
right here.
We've always
Yeah,
said
there it is.
Deej. We've always said Deej, a monosyllabic pronunciation.
And then the Valentine seasonal monster,
The Schmoochel.
Schmoochel.
The Schmoochel. Very important that you got your sh at the beginning there. Not Smoochel, but Schmoochel.
And the Wublin that has two sort of blue feathers coming out of his ears. I don't think he's up here.
Are you
but I think-
speaking of the Waja?
I am speaking of
Known for
Raja.
flossing as well as you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Famous
and
flosser.
also being very articulate with its hands when it sings.
So say that again. How was that pronounced?
That's Waja. You can take your cue from the sound that the monster makes. The Waja, 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 Wa.
Right.
So,
That was a good Wanja call.
why? Thank you.
Well, he is a
Monster
He went
handler.
That's what I mean. He's showing his skills.
There you go.
Well, related to that, people wanted to know which monsters do you voice?
Which monsters do I voice? Let me see if I can remember them. There are many on Plant Island, which was the first land that was discovered, the first island that Big Blue Bubble came in contact with. That is, I'm half of Mammoth, which is fun. Those are actually two performer voices that have been spliced together. That's my own and Dave's, who composes the
Can you
music.
give us your half a mammoth?
Sure. let me just prepare myself. Here we go.
I'm
We
gonna
go.
do this for each one.
Boom, boom, boom,
very accurate.
boom, boom. There you go.
Fantastic.
It's like seeing how
there's
seeing
Mammoth.
how
It's the magic.
Yes.
It's the magic of the world.
else?
Octopus.
Okay, can we get that?
Shoo-a-doo-a-doo, a-shoo-a-doo-a-doo, a-shoo-a-doo-a-doo. Octopus.
It's always so weird seeing you do it, and then when I know who you are, and like I'll be playing the game, and I'll be like, "Is Matt right next to me?" It's very it throws me off.
Are you,
Unless
are you starstruck?
I am. Ugh. I see you every day, and I still starstruck.
Potbelly.
Right, we mentioned that earlier.
Bap, ba-dap, bap, bap, ba-dap, bap. And finally, Thwok. The wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, those are the four that I can think of on Plant Island. I think that there are a few others across the monster world. I'm trying to think if there are any fire hybrids that I did. I don't think so. But if someone thinks of one in the chat, and they're welcome to ask if I have done so.
Okay. We've got some trivia questions that people want to try and stump you with.
Okay, this is the part
Yes.
that I've been
So they
very
Stump
excited
Monster
for.
Handler Matt.
I'm in this moment going to take off the source
Okay.
of all my knowledge and place it.
Now I will steal.
Oh no!
Just figure out how to wear it.
So they've sent in the questions and the
Okay.
answers.
All right.
to try and
Excellent.
stump you.
Okay.
First, we'll start with an easy one.
Okay.
What colors are on Thwok's tongue?
Oh, I think I know.
Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, on Thwok's tongue we have blue,
Mm-hmm.
pink,
Mm-hmm.
orange. Am I wrong already?
How many colors do you think are on his tongue?
I think that there are 3 alternating.
Mm-hmm. So I'll show you a picture.
Uh-oh.
You could say that there's orange, but really
I'm
it's
not.
blue,
No.
pink, and
I've been
purple.
stumped off the hop. So
Wow.
The
He's
correct.
also right behind you.
Well, then that's showing how much integrity I have that I'm actually answering the question. From
That was
my
an
own
excellent
point of
question.
view.
Congratulations for
From the
stumping.
So officially we have what? Pink. So what are we
Pink,
gonna call that?
purple,
Pink.
and blue, I'd say.
No, I'd say that's
So
purple.
So this
pink,
is
blue.
sort of like
Yeah.
a human tongue
Yes.
color, blue, and purple. Okay, fair enough.
Stumped
Let me
you.
see if I can redeem myself here.
Here we go.
With a
Alright.
second trivia question. That's a great. Those. Ooh.
Yeah.
See,
I'm excited to see what the
see,
rest of them when
so
that was an
I
easy
know
one.
I know a lot about like what makes a monster tick. If someone's asking me specific questions about appearance, I'm really gonna have to rack my brains. This is very exciting.
Yeah,
This is
So
I
very
love
you
exciting.
know a lot of the deep stuff too. That's like bi and lore related. Like,
Right,
that
the
stuff is,
details, the details of a monster's relationship with another monster, something like that. But these appearance ones are very stumpy. All right,
Okay.
I'm ready for another one, Sid.
Alright, this one you might be able to work out by
Oh,
process of
okay.
elimination. How many Wublins require single element eggs?
I love this question.
This is a tough one.
Will he be stumped 2 for 2?
This is purely going to be a shot in the dark because I myself don't
Alright.
know. So, of the 19 Wublins that we know of, once Wubbox had finally assembled his supernatural family, its supernatural family, I should say, I'm going to say that there are 3.
9.
9.
Boom.
See, I was wanting to do a bigger number, but then I thought, no. But,
Is that
Flawless logic.
Was
yeah,
that,
that was my
your
thought process. That's the you
This
could follow
answer,
along.
but no.
9.
9.
So
Yeah.
half,
So thanks to whoever sent in
effectively.
that
Excellent
stumper.
question.
And then I've got one more trivia question for you.
Okay.
This one's a toughie.
Jeez, I gotta
Last
get one
chance.
out of these
Last
3.
chance.
When was the Wubbox first released on Plant Island? First off, can you get the year?
I can certainly get the year. I know that it was early May 2013.
Can you get the exact day?
Ooh,
It's a big
I got
one.
my number.
Yeah, we'll take a guess.
Very
It's my
special
number.
day.
My...
I want to say May 9th.
You got it.
Whoa!
Okay.
So a little bit of redemption there. A little bit of
That
redemption
was-
there. I remember.
Good
I remember when we first started investigating the nature of the Wubbox. That was very exciting. Wubbox is one of the more interesting monsters because, so far as we know, it did not exist during the era of Dawn of Fire. It sprang into being only after the natural islands that we know now exist as they currently do.
That was another excellent question. Thank you so much. I think we should probably do more later. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
If you're-
so
Keep
get-
the trivia
keep 'em
questions
coming.
coming. Please
Yeah.
send the answers with the questions so that we can know if Matt is right or wrong.
And
Yeah.
we can verify as well.
And
Yes.
keep them obscure. I'm loving how detail oriented they are. It's great to know that all the Monster Handler apprentices out there are paying attention to all these details because it's stuff that we think about every day.
So later on, we'll have you back right here.